everyone, this is Elisa from Anaya's Toy Box Crochet, and I'm here to tell you what I've been up to. I'd like to apologize for the lighting. I have the curtains open, and really we get very little light in this apartment, and when I get light, I like to embrace it, and I know the lighting is weird because of it, but I'd rather keep the curtains open than close it. Sorry. Alright, so thank you all for coming. I really do enjoy showing off my makes, and I hope you guys enjoy making it, and I do love that you come and watch me make my makes. Watch me show off my makes week after week. You can find me on social media. I am on Instagram, Facebook, Ravelry, and Etsy. All the links are linked down below in every single video that I ever post. Well, not my shorts. Speaking of shorts, I have not been keeping up with my 100-day project of making a short a day. It is hard. Okay, so what have I been up to this week? This week, I have been up to this guy. This is I always forget the name. It's like Crochet Doll Shop, or you know what? I'm just going to look it up. I have my iPad right here, and I can tell you where he's from. Maybe, or not, because I don't have it open on that page. But it's something like Doll Crochet Shop or Crochet Doll Shop. I will have it linked down below, and I probably already popped it up somewhere over there. Anyways, I finished him. Her patterns are gorgeous, but I wouldn't recommend them. There are a lot of typos. There's a lot of adjusting that needs to be made. Like, for instance, these pants, if I had made them the way the pattern had said, it'd be like this big on the waist. I mean, it's already big on the waist, which is how it's supposed to be. Like, it's part of the aesthetic. But I found myself having to adjust it and make decreases myself. That wasn't written on the pattern. And the way it was written in the pattern, it just would have been, clown pants. You know those clown pants that are just so huge and there's a ring around it to keep it up? It would be like that. The shoes, they turned out great. I am so happy. I thought, oh my gosh, what if I have to adjust these shoes? I've never made shoes like this before. But I didn't. So they're amazing. Anyways, this is one of my projects. I last year started a project, I guess, of finishing up all the patterns that I've had for a while, that I paid for. And this is one of them. So I'm going to pop up a picture over here of the 3 that I have, or there's 2 left. And to go with this promise that I made myself to finish up all the patterns that I have had for a while, is I don't buy a pattern unless I am ready to make it. And that is hard because sometimes things are on sale and you're working on another project and you can't start right away. But so far I have managed to keep to that. If I buy a pattern, I make it right away. And these are I have 3 or 2 now, stragglers from that I bought years ago that needs to be made up. And so I have 2 left, and this is one of them, and I'm so happy to see it done. I am hoping to finish it, I said before June, and I might still keep June, but I'm going to extend it to this year, like the end of this year, by December. Just because, it gives me more freedom. I'm going to say it, but I'm probably going to finish it in June anyways. But whatever. This is my doggy. He is done. So that's my first defo. Actually, my first defo was a heart. I am trying to, I made that shawl, that big shawl, with the crystal cakes, where I used 2 crystal cakes and I have a little bit left over. I was hoping to make a fox with what was left over, but I was worried that I'd be playing yarn chicken. So I decided I'm just going to finish it up making these hearts. So this is heart number 2, I believe, of all the hearts that I'm making with the crystal cake. I still have enough for more. So that's my second. It's actually my first FO. This is the first one I finished. And this one I finished last night. And it's a horse. Now, I do have the information popped up on my iPad, so I'll be able to tell you instead of writing it down. This is a pattern by Cutie Me Store on Etsy. It will be linked down below. It's on sale right now. So I bought it a couple of days ago, the pattern, and I loved it. It is a no-sew pattern. You start off at the feet, well, and you make the ears, but you start off at the feet and you work all the way up. You make the head first, the muzzle first, the feet and the ears, and then you just work it up. And as you're working, you're adding whatever you need to finish making it, all the body parts. And when you are done crocheting the body, you have everything attached already. It is amazing and wonderful and so much faster to have a no-sew pattern. The only thing I sewed on was the tail and the mane. I decided to make the mane this way instead of the latch hoop method that most people use, just because, I don't know, I just prefer it. I crochet all my hair. Like even like dolls that I make, I don't use the latch hoop. Always I crochet it, and I crochet it. I might straighten these a little bit, like take out my straightener and straighten it, or use a steamer and just relax the curls just a little bit, but I might not. I think I kind of like it wild. It's better than it was yesterday. Like I've been tugging on it like this because yesterday it was like bunched up, and I think it's okay now. But I love, love, love this pattern. I mean, I would recommend her store right now. Today is March 19th. Right now, she has a sale going on where you get 10% off her patterns. So if you want to get it, now's the time. But she has a lot of other nice stuff. So if you want to go check it out, go check it out. I like this horse a lot. I enjoyed working on it. I enjoyed that there was no sewing whatsoever, except for the mane and the tail. But if you do the latch hoop method, you're not even going to be sewing it on. You're just going to be, you know, doing the latch hoop method. And if you don't know how to do that, I do have a video in my playlist, in my tutorial, in my crochet amigurumi tips playlist about how to latch hoop hair. So if you want to check that out, if you don't know how, you can do that. But anyways, those are my FOs. I know. It's not much, but whatever. What I have been spending a lot of time on is this project. This is in my Amelia Joy bag. And sometimes I show off my bags, but I forget to tell you who designed it and who made it. But this is an Amelia Joy. And I have been working a lot on this and trying to figure out how I want it. Here it is, the blanket so far. I have decided to make it into a baby blanket because I have a baby coming into my life. So I'd like to give this the baby that's coming into my life, this blanket. So my next step right now is going to be weaving in the ends. I started off right here. This is the center, and I attached this in a round, and then I attached the next round in a round, and every time I finish attaching it into a round, I weave in the ends of the hexes so it doesn't drive me crazy later. And this is what I have so far. I don't think I am going to make it too much bigger, or wider I should say. This is the top or the bottom. What I'm going to do is, because it's a baby blanket, I think it's wide enough, but I'm going to make it as close as I can to a rectangular, which means I'm going to add some hexes here on the top, right here, and on the bottom to like rectangular it out, I guess. I don't know if that's a word, but whatever, we're just going to use it just to make it like a little more even, and then I'll be done with this. The problem is I have calculated. By calculated means I lay down the blanket and then put the hexes around it. I need 22 more hexes to finish this, and I have like 40. So I have to figure out what to do with the rest of the hexes. Because when I originally intended to make this, I intended it as a lapgan or bigger, depending on how much yarn because this is all, I hate to use the word scrap because it's not scrap exactly. It is yarn that I used on dolls and it is the leftover yarn. And you know, when you use yarn on dolls, especially the colorful ones, use very little at a time per doll. It doesn't take much yarn to make a dress, so, or a top or pants or whatever it is that I used it on. So this was, I could have made a few more doll tops, a few more doll dresses with the yarn that is in here, but it's been sitting around forever and I thought it needed some love, so I used that yarn. So I didn't even pay attention to whether the colors looked good together or not. I just crocheted whatever I had, the oldest. I worked from my oldest yarns, not to my newest. I just worked with my oldest yarns that I have. Most of it was Shepia's Katona, and they came in 25 gram skeins. I have used up most of it. I still have this color. I mean, I have more Shepia's Katona. I'm just talking about my old ones. I've used up most of my old ones. This color I still have because it's one of my favorite skin tones and I'm having a hard time letting go. I do have yarn pulled out for a doll that I'm going to use this color for the skin. But anyways, that's the only color I have left of my oldest yarns. And I had started picking out some of my newer yarns. My Darn Good Yarn, the Advent box that everyone got for a lot less than I did. Yeah, so I used some of that in here, not too many, just some. Some of the yellows, I believe, is it's grays, but whatever, I used that. And honestly, my intention right now when I started putting it together was just to get an idea of how many hexes I will need to make at least a lap gown. But because this baby's in my life, I've decided I'm going to turn this into a baby blanket and give it to the parents when I see them next, which will be soon. And forget about making a bigger blanket. So I still have a lot of, I bought a lot of 2-weight yarn in a like 50 gram or 25 gram skein, and I just bought one of those colors. So I have a lot of those, so it's hard to finish up those because, you know, like I said, in a dress it only goes so far. So who knows, I might start another project like this one day just to use up all that yarn, or not. I don't know. I really don't know. But for now, this is going to be a baby blanket and it's almost done. Hopefully next week it will be done. I loved making it. I love seeing it coming together. It looks really, really beautiful. I hope they like it, the people I am planning to give it to. I hope they like it. But anyways, that is it. That's all I've been working on. Yeah, my crojo has, I told you last week, towards the end of the week, my crojo was waning. This week, it's back now. But at the beginning of the week, it was like, eh. So, I don't have as much done as I would have. I don't have my other projects to show you, not because I don't have it like physically here. It's just that I didn't work on it. So what's the point of showing it to you? It's the same thing as you saw last time. So I'm not going to show you. I have 2 other whips because I do try to keep my whips manageable. I have my cardigan, which I really need to work on more. And I have my knitting project, which I really need to work on more. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to hear more from me, please subscribe. Bye.